Hi everybody, I'm here in Ann Arbor, Michigan at Camp Take Notice, and I'm with Caleb, who's the organizer who lives here. He's one of the homeless residents and helps model this tent city off of many of you that have followed me have gone with me into several tent cities, but you all know that I love Nicholsville, and right now that I don't even know if there is a Nicholsville. But in that area there was a movement, and this was modeled after Tent City 3. So tell me about Camp Take Notice.
Sure. Sorry, it always takes me a couple stutters to get going on this. Tell you about Camp Take Notice. The model that I fell in love with is unusual. It's an itinerant model, and most people are in favor of a fixed location community for the homeless, and I don't disagree with people who want to move those goals forward, but I do get excited about housing both in inside and outside that moves around. There's a couple of reasons that those are work out really well. One of them is that the fixed location, oftentimes the homeless become habituated to that location. The jobs and the places to plug in within that area get filled up, and so as you move around to different locations, the homeless get a chance to plug into different communities, different social groups as they move around.
I never even thought of it that way. Has this tent city moved?
It's moved at least 6 times.
6 times. Gosh, I hate moving. That's got to be a real pain to pick up. How many people are living here?
Right now, I would guess 20.
20 people.
Yeah.
All probably all different walks of life, and
definitely.
So I know we just interviewed for InvisiblePeople.tv, so part of this might be redundant. So apologies, please. Let me apologize. But you guys screen for drug abuse. You screen for, you don't screen, but you don't tolerate it. What other rules that you have here going on?
I think allowing folks to get a good night's sleep. So if you do something that disturbs the peace of people at nighttime, that's a pretty big issue. And anything that smacks of violence or aggressive behavior that doesn't support community atmosphere, those are pretty obvious. And then there's the cleanliness issues. So if you encourage people to pick up after themselves, that sort of thing.
Tonight's cleanup night. I know we talked to Mike, and he's in college. It gives people a chance to go out, and when you're homeless, you need some kind of safety of where to put your belongings. And one of the big issues of the structured shelter system is that there's so many rules, and people want freedom.
Right.
And now this allows that.
Right.
The rules are you don't drink and you don't use, and you're kind to your neighbor, but otherwise you can come and go as you please.
You're right about that.
And you find that more liberating? You find that more healing, or?
That's a perfect question. What I find particularly healing is the ability to have something to give laterally to your friends next to you. So in a lot of traditional systems, help comes down to you from above, and then there is nothing to give to those next to you. And so one of people's really strong desires is not just to receive, but also to be a provider, to be a problem solver. So this kind of environment allows people to do that for each other. That restores a lot of agency and humanity to those who are discouraged.
And but after you said that, and again, I've never even thought about that, and you're totally right, because in this structured shelter system, support, case management all comes from the top down to the one person, and they're not even able to help each other, and that's so big in building community. And then people get out of here. Have people come in this tent city and gotten back into housing?
Oh yeah, all the time. I can't say that everyone that comes through here steps up to housing, but some of them do, and others continue in similar circumstances. But I consider it a success if they've found peace for their time here.
Right. Wow. Winter's coming. It's going to be cold. This is Michigan. What do you do?
we recently had a donation of a wood stove from a kind woman, so that's exciting. So we've done 2 winters without a community area for warmth, and so now that we have that, it'll be pretty exciting. And then having done a lot of winters outside, I just use a lot of blankets underneath and above.
Wow. Now you've actually created a nonprofit here. This is a nonprofit. How do people find you? How do people support you?
Right. The nonprofit is Mission. It's Michigan Itinerant Shelter System, interdependent out of necessity. So it's we just call it Mission. And how do people find it? tentcitymichigan.org is how they find it.
Oh, very cool. Well, I do. I love the Tent City model. Just because I love community and I love people helping each other, and but it's really a slap in the face of the homeless services, because if we were able to take care of you guys, you wouldn't have to live in the woods. And in all reality, there's no showers or bathrooms here. So when you're camping, it's for a few days, and as you said, a couple of winters. So that's homeless.
Yeah, and I used to direct a lot of my anger towards the homeless services, but I've become more appreciative with the people there doing what they can with the money and time that they have. So it's often folks who don't get their hands dirty that I think the responsibility lies with.
Do you think other communities, instead of, I always say it this way, communities have one or two solutions. They can either bulldoze homelessness, and some literally do that. They bulldoze the tent cities away, but it never really goes away, or they embrace solutions. Do you consider this as a viable solution, that, when shelters are being overrun and there's no money, that they allow homeless communities to develop on a parcel someplace?
You'll run into folks with very strong opinions on both sides of that issue. I believe that there's a population of people that even when you provide them with an indoor location with services, that they eschew that for the life that they've become habituated to. So there's a small population of people, I think, that will continue to need services outdoors. So I believe that this serves that population of people. I also believe that this is a lowest rung on the ladder. It gives folks something to grab a hold of so that they can take their next step up. Do I think it's a long-term viable solution? I'm in love with what it does for people's souls and their broken psyches. So yes, I think it's a good thing.
Oh, cool. Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
Definitely. Thanks for coming.